How's it going, everybody? We're back in the garage again, and we're working on the Sentra again. Since the last video, I haven't really done too much as far as changing the setup. I've really just been enjoying the car. I didn't drive it at all last year. As you guys know, I kind of just blew it up last year. So I drove the car maybe 200 miles last year. To and from work like twice, which is like maybe 100 miles, and then just like a few trips around the house, around town. Didn't get to enjoy it at all last year. It was a bad year for the car. So I've just been driving the car, still on the NIS tune, haven't even dove into putting the ECU master in the car yet. I've just been having fun. The car is driving good enough to where it's enjoyable. Still having issues with the NIS tune, but again, it's to where I can just go out. I've been just driving the car. I put 1,000, 1,500 miles on the car, which really isn't still that much, but it's enough to where I've been having fun with the car. Today I have a little project that I want to fill you guys in on. I don't really film that much stuff anymore, as you guys have noticed, so I need to start bringing you guys along just even on the little projects that I do here and there. So this is an attempt. I need to get this done. I've been slacking. I started this project like a few months ago. I started kind of like figuring out how the way I was going to do it. Put it off for a while. Picked it back up like 2 weeks ago. Ran into some issues, which I'll go over with you guys in just a moment here. And we're back today to finish it. So as you could probably see from the title, I'm going to be building some traction bars for the Sentra. So I've been messing around with launching the car. You can see in the last clip there, I got a bit of some wheel hop. I'm gonna be finishing up some traction bars for the car and hopefully eliminating any future wheel hop issues. So let's dive into that. Yeah, the bumper is zip tied on. No, I don't care. Quick release. I have the traction bar off the car. Here is what I was working on. Here is one of the reasons why I need to go ahead and redo it. You can see I welded these brackets on here a little bit crooked. I also need to fill this gap in. Sorry if there is any wind noise right now. It's really hot. I got a fan blasting on me. I'm gonna have to fill the gap in with this 3/16 steel here and redo the brackets. I'm gonna have to cut these ones off. Also, you can see I welded them really close together. I wasn't gonna use the bushings there, but now I'm going to use the bushings there. So yeah, I have to cut those off. This side I never got around to finishing. This is actually the bracket for this side. Cut that off, weld this on, and go. Here is the brackets I just cut off. I got the 2 spacers in there. I'm gonna go ahead and also just probably throw a tack on each side there to hold those in place. One less thing to kind of fall off every time you want to take these on and off the vehicle. And then I'm also gonna go ahead, I have this 3/16 by 3/4 inch wide flat stock here, and I'm gonna cut a little strip of that off, and I'm gonna go ahead and tie this together in like a little C channel like that, just to kind of strengthen it up a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and get 2 strips of these cut up and weld that onto that. And here is the other bracket here. So put a little strip on both of those and then go ahead and weld it onto this. All right, made a little bit more progress on the bar here. So let's show you guys where we are. I think I got a few shots of me like grinding some stuff, cutting some stuff, but I realized everything was out of frame. So I don't know what you'll be able to see or what I'll be able to use, but here we are. So I got both of these brackets made. Put that little support on top like I was saying. I have everything just like all together, bolted together still, so that there's minimal like shrinkage and everything like that. I'm gonna wait till it's fully welded on there before I unbolt everything, so hopefully everything still slips on there nice and perfectly. I also added this little plate in here. Just gotta finish welding that around there, block off the 2 ends there, and then that will be good. This is to clear the cross member. I have it kind of tucked up there as tight as possible, so I have the maximum amount of ground clearance since it's still like a streetcar sort of setup. Yeah, like I know it wouldn't sit that much lower if I made it clear the cross member without this, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these tabs welded on both sides here and get everything finished up welded, and I think call it for the night. Back again, day 2 working on the traction bar. Actually technically day 3. I came down here the other day and just threw a coat of paint on it after I finished welding it. In the last video, which I didn't actually show, I realized, but I finished welding it, came down the other day after work, threw a coat of paint on it and bolted up on the car. I will throw a few pictures I have of just like it finished the night after I finished welding it, and then I got a picture of it with the paint on it. It looks pretty good. So now I just have to finish up the brackets for the other side, the control arm side, and bolt those or weld those onto the car so I can bolt up the traction bars. Basically, the plan is, so I got 2 of these made up with the brackets here, with the spacers in there. Camera will not focus. There it is. So I have 2 of these brackets here. There's the second one. Basically just going to take this 3/4 inch 3/16 steel, cut a little section out, weld that on there to make like a little C bracket, and then this piece of steel will fit right into the channel on the control arm, because it's like 2 sandwich pieces of stamped steel. So there's a little channel on the side there, so that is going to fit right into that channel. That's also why I have these notched at the end like that, so that it can fit in there nicely. So going to cut 2 pieces of this out, weld those on there, and then get these welded on the control arm. Okay, made a little more progress. Phone died, stopped recording. Here's where we're at. I have one of the 2 brackets gooble gobbled onto the control arm. There's just a bunch of oil and just crap, as you can see to the left there. I wasn't able to get the metal really that clean at all. So that's what it looks like. It's horrible. I need to wait till tomorrow, jack the car up, weld the underside and weld the inside there to the right side. I wasn't able to get that side welded, but hopefully it's good enough, even though it's ugly, that it just penetrated and it will hold. But that's where I'm gonna cut it for tonight. It's getting close to 9 o'clock here. All right, we are back. Day 4, I think, working on the traction bar setup. I finally just completely finished it off. Got the last 2 brackets finished up, welded onto the control arms. And I figure now, just before I close out this video, I was gonna go drive the car, get some clips, and end it with that. But I think I'm gonna save that for the next one, leave you guys a little bit of a cliffhanger, make you come back and watch more video. I am gonna show you just kind of real quick how I'm going to set up the traction bar. Obviously, I've never done this before. I did like a little bit of research real quick on the internet, and this is my take from it. So just gonna show you guys that real quick, and that's gonna do it. Here is the traction bar. Right now, it is loose, so there's no tension on it, forward or backward. You wanna basically pull the control arm forward. When you launch the car, the motion is gonna wanna bounce the tires backwards. So you wanna just put a little bit of tension pulling the control arm forward. That way when you launch, it doesn't jaunt itself backward, and thus you get the wheel hop. So what I'm going to do is try and find a way to set you guys up so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't know how well this will be able to be picked up on the camera here. But basically, just find yourself like a reference point. So I'm going off of the end of the bolt on the brackets that I made for the traction bar themselves, and then find a point up front here. I'm just going off this little bracket I made on the front part of the traction bar, and basically just use that to measure out how much you're gonna be pulling it forward. I'm gonna go like about 1/8 of an inch. So you can see right now it's right about dead even on 20.5. So I'm gonna tension this bar till it gets about 20 3/8 and call it there. So, wrong way. Pull this in here. And right there, that's actually, I'm gonna go a little bit more. 1 extra 1/16 of an inch. Yep, so now it's at 20 5/16. So I pulled it back about 3/16 of an inch, almost a 1/4 inch, or pulled it forward rather. Now I can go ahead and lock the 2 lock nuts in place. I'm gonna have to grab a wrench for that. I don't have one handy. And that is basically it. Now whenever I go and I launch the car, the wheels can't be forced backwards because they're being pulled forward. That's gonna do it for this video. My phone's dying here, so I'm kind of stuck over in the corner by the charger. But we got the traction bars totally finished up. Showed you guys how to get those adjusted, I think. Definitely stay tuned for the next video. We're gonna go out and do some launches, see how these things work. But until then, go ahead and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.